Well, hey there, and welcome to Legally Blissed Conversations in the fourth episode of the series Asked and Answered. I'm your host, Suzi Hixon, and I'm really excited to be here with you today. I've been a practicing trademark attorney for about 20 years, and I'm here to empower my slightly more junior sisters in law with practical advice and tips and insights on how to navigate the real world challenges they're facing in the practice of law. So, in each episode of Asked and Answered, I'll be tackling one of your burning questions and sharing my own experience and wisdom to help you thrive in the legal world as a junior associate. I'll really try to be that mentor that I wish I'd had. So, from navigating complex workplace dynamics to mastering work life balance, I've got your back. So, let's get started with today's question. So today's question comes from Brandy in Connecticut. And Brandy writes, as a new lawyer, I'm excited to dive into my career and start building my professional network. However, I'm not exactly thrilled about some of the traditional networking activities that seem to be popular in the legal industry. I don't play golf, and I don't want to spend my evenings at cigar bars or strip clubs. I'm not interested in drinking with colleagues until the early hours of the morning either. I want to build relationships with other professionals, but I don't want to compromise my values or my personal life to do so. I'm wondering if there's any alternative networking strategies that I can use as a new lawyer. How can I build my professional network in a way that aligns with my values and interests? Are there any events or activities that are more inclusive and diverse than the typical golf outings or bar crawls? I know that building relationships is important in this industry, and I want to do it right. But I don't want to feel like I have to sacrifice my own identity or lifestyle to do so. Can you provide me with some guidance on how to network and build professional relationships as a new lawyer without compromising my values or my personal life? Wow, that message brought back a lot of memories. So thank you for sharing your concerns about networking as a new lawyer, Brandy. It's essential to build a professional network that aligns with your values and interests. And I completely understand your desire to avoid some of those traditional networking events that just don't resonate with you, to put it lightly. So, first and foremost, I want to assure you that there are a lot of alternatives and a lot of alternative networking strategies that you can use to connect with other professionals without compromising your personal values or your values in your personal life. So here's some suggestions. So first of all, consider attending industry events and seminars. So these events provide valuable opportunities for you to meet like-minded professionals in your field. And you can engage in meaningful conversations during breaks or panel discussions. And these can really lead to long-lasting personal connections. I actually met one of my dearest colleagues, Rachel, way back in 2005 when we were both new trademark lawyers, and it was through the International Trademark Association, and they were doing a training event in New York, and I got to meet her there. It was a bit of a serendipitous encounter. I have, of course, a bit of a Southern accent, and she is from New Jersey. So we both really loved each other's accent. She had been to the Kentucky Derby, and she thankfully initiated a conversation. And I'm a little bit introverted, so it's a little more challenging for me to do that. But what she got me talking, it was friendship that lasted to this day. And again, we're still colleagues, and we still help each other on our trademark work. So I strongly suggest that you think about how you can integrate attending these industry events. I also think that you should think about joining professional organizations and even committees that are associated with those organizations. So by participating in groups related to your practice area or even your interest, you'll be able to engage with other professionals who really share your passion. And this will really help you build a strong network while also developing your skills and knowledge, and maybe with people who really are aligned with your values. Here's another fun one. Think about volunteering for pro bono or community service work. So giving back to your community, of course, can provide those opportunities to connect with other professionals who, again, share your values. Not only will you be doing good, but you're going to be also networking in a more authentic and meaningful way. Of course, we can't forget about online networking. Utilize platforms like LinkedIn and legal forums and social media to connect with professionals who share your interest. And by actively participating in discussions and sharing your thoughts, you can create connections that could lead to future collaborations. And then finally, organize or attend sort of non-traditional networking events. If you're not finding networking events that really align with your values, consider organizing your own or seek out kind of unusual alternative options. This could include book clubs, a fitness class, cultural events that bring professionals together in a more inclusive and diverse environment, and other things. And you could also consider joining an online legal community, of course, like Legally Blissed, as long as the community aligns with your values. As a young associate, I really faced similar challenges when it came to networking. It was challenging for me as an introvert, especially. And so sometimes I consumed alcohol to make me just feel a little more relaxed in those situations. I also found myself attending events that really didn't truly align with my values or interests, and things that didn't really fulfill me. And I really felt out of place a lot of times and just kind of uncomfortable. So looking back, I know I could have done better by proactively seeking out the networking opportunities that resonated with me and provided more genuine connections. And instead of trying to fit into that mold of traditional networking, I should have focused on finding events and activities that genuinely interested me, where I could really have authentically engaged with others. By being true to myself and my values, I would have been able to build a more meaningful and supportive network early on. So remember, Brandy, networking is about building genuine relationships. It's not about just distributing and collecting business cards. So by focusing on activities that really align with your values and your interests, you can create a strong professional network without compromising your identity or your values or your lifestyle. So stay true to yourself, and you'll find success both in and outside of the professional field. I am sure of it. So that wraps up today's episode of Asked and Answered on Legally Blissed Conversations. If you have questions or a topic you'd like me to discuss in a future episode, even anonymously, be sure to connect with me on LinkedIn. The link is below this episode. And if you enjoyed this episode, please give me a thumbs up, share it with your friends or colleagues, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on a future episode. And if you're listening to this on a podcast, please leave me a review. It goes a long way in helping other people find this content, which can hopefully benefit other professionals. If you're looking for help on setting boundaries, finding a mentor, learning how to say no, and just building a really strong support network, make sure you join our community, Legally Blissed. It's a community of women lawyers who believe that to be the best advocate for others, we must be excellent advocates for ourselves and each other. Thank you again so much for joining me today. I'll see you in the next episode of Asked and Answered as I continue supporting and uplifting our fellow sisters-in-law on their unique legal journeys. So stay determined and let your values and passion for justice guide you. Have a beautiful day.